All right, guys, welcome. My name's Cody. This is Don. We're here with the Out of Bounds podcast. We'll be talking all things sports, football, basketball, hockey. We'll even get into some wrestling for you wrestling fans. WWE, AEW, all that little bit of stuff. So,
looking forward to it.
Today,
AEW.
Did you catch last night?
I caught last night.
Oh, some crazy stuff. AEW is putting out some stuff that I think is the product in terms of wrestling. I think seems to be far more superior than the WWE. Storytelling can still get a little bit more in depth, I think.
Yeah, even though they are in this like brand new era, which has changed all kinds of stuff, which I think is great. They still do one thing that's just so irritating, right? In between April and May, the stuff on there is crap.
Oh, you're talking about WWE? Yeah,
it's garbage. It's like, why can't you keep the same thing going? Whereas in AEW, you know two things. The first match is going to be great, and the last match is going to be great.
Every show.
Every show.
They treat every show like it's the last show.
Yeah, so that I like.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like the Dynasty coming up this weekend, they've been building that every week. Every week we seem to get a new match, but they still have to build on the storylines as well.
Their big one will be All In. I think that's in August in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
So in other words, we do have playoffs starting. NHL, NBA primarily are starting right about now. We still got we had 2 games last night for the NBA play-in. Miami was playing Philadelphia. They blew their lead, blew their best player too. So they've got one more shot to get into the playoffs. They'll be playing Chicago on Friday. And then in the West, the Sacramento Kings beat the Warriors, so they'll be playing the Pelicans, who lost against the Lakers. So those will fill the last 2 spots in the playoffs. I think they believe they start on Saturday, so we'll see what the matchups look like. We do know 6 of the 8 matchups right now. Just waiting on the last 2 teams. So
I leave you to follow the NBA. That's not my forte.
Yeah, I've been following closely for a few years. I listened to a couple sports radio. Shout out Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine in the morning show. Some of my favorite guys to listen to, kind of inspiration for this podcast, I would say.
That's right. That's always on every time I'm in the car. You got that.
Yeah, so I keep up with it. I don't watch too much because I just don't have time at the end of the evenings, but I do keep up with all the news and stuff. So NHL, though, we're from Toronto. We're based out of just outside Toronto, so naturally we're, unfortunately, Leafs fans, or
I'm
Leafs
not.
Adjacent.
I can honestly say I have never been a Leaf fan. What I would like to say is congratulations to my New York Rangers. Best team in the regular season. Again, President's Cup. And did you know that when they won the Stanley Cup last in the 93-94 season, they won the President's Trophy.
So 30 years in the making. That was your best sports year, wasn't it? That's the year they
had the Cowboys, had the Blue Jays, had the Rangers. You know what? I should have just stopped watching it then, because it did not get any better than that.
It's been a drought for a long time. Have the Rangers won since? Last time they won 94. That's what you just said.
Yeah. So
who are your Rangers facing in the first round of the playoffs?
Washington.
They snuck in there.
It was between them and the Flyers, and whoever won that game got in, and it was the Capitals.
The Capitals won.
Yeah.
What other teams do we got? What other matchups are we got? The Leafs, I know, we're playing Boston, which is doesn't look good for the Leafs, because Boston's had their numbers for the last 10, 15 years, I'd say.
Yeah, I got a feeling that this is not going to be Boston's year.
List them through round by round, and then we'll see which ones we find have major storylines here.
Okay, so let's start off with the games today.
I think today is the last game of the regular season, last week of the regular season.
Okay, because all I'm getting here is playoffs from round 1. What do you have on here?
So we've got, this will be the last 6 games of the year.
Okay.
And then starting on Saturday, we've got the round 1 of the playoffs. So Round 1, Saturday, we've got Islanders, Hurricanes, Lightning, Panthers, Leafs, Bruins, Capitals, and Rangers.
Okay, so that's only one of the conferences. What's going on with the other conference?
So that would be the Eastern Conference. I don't know why it's not showing up on my... Let's see.
It's not showing up on mine either.
I think there might be still... because there's games tonight, they must...
Yeah. Okay.
They must determine who the rounds are going to be, so they don't actually have those next rounds yet.
Okay, well...
So that looks like the Eastern Conference, and the Western Conference, we still got a couple teams. So.
Okay, so then let's take a look at the East here. Islanders against the Hurricane.
Who do we got? Who do we think?
Who do you think?
I think Carolina's been playing well this year. I haven't been following the Islanders at all, really. I was actually surprised when I saw them in the playoffs. And again, I don't follow hockey too often, but
so they're doing so. But as for the Hurricane, there are right now, I believe, 4 teams picked as Stanley Cup favorites, and they're one of them.
The Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Who are the other 3 teams that you'd say?
Dallas.
Yep.
The Rangers.
Yep.
And Florida.
Florida this year, so they have a better chance. Vegas isn't in that mix anymore.
Well, they're in the playoffs,
but they're not in like the top.
They're like
top level.
They're like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, yeah. I don't really like. I think that one. I'm thinking maybe 5 games.
Hurricanes in 5. You think the Islanders will sneak one in?
Yeah, I think that's
gentleman's sweep.
Okay, the Maple Leafs and the Bruins. You know, I have to tell you, the problem with the Leafs, and this may get people upset, but you know what? Sorry, truth hurts.
Sorry, Toronto fans.
If you've got a salary cap of X amount of dollars, okay, like every team has the same cap, and you're giving over 2/3 of your salary to 5 players, how are you going to win?
Yeah, which is the Leafs are definitely stacked a little bit top heavy with their top 5 offensive players. Great players, but like you said, defense.
Yeah, well,
defense tends to win championships.
And they are great players when they show up.
That's true. We were on 70 goal alert for Austin Matthews. He was close to being one of those elite players in history that actually reached the 70 goal mark. I think he had 68. When did he get 68? Like a few games ago.
No, he had with 3 games left, he had 67, and then he scored 2 goals in the following game.
69.
And then he didn't get anything in
the last 2 games, and he couldn't get the Panthers wiped the floor with them yesterday. I think it was 6-3, and
that was Tampa.
Oh, that's right. Florida beat them 2 nights ago.
Yes,
that's right. Because we were on 70 goal watch for both those games, and he couldn't sneak one in. So, still a historic season for him. But like you said, you can't have your salary cap at the top there.
You know, well, it's all of your money is spent on offensive players, wingers and centers.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. I recall when they won their last Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
I actually watched it. I was young, but and they haven't done anything since then. But they also haven't had to. Every game sold out. They are the highest grossing franchise in hockey year after year after year.
Yeah.
Right. So if they win, good for the fans. If they don't, doesn't matter. The place is going to be sold out every night.
Yeah, trying to get a ticket to the Leafs game. Well, if you don't know someone who knows someone,
you're not getting them.
You better have deep pockets because those tickets are expensive. You could easily from where we are, you could go over the border to Detroit and see a game for half the cost.
Oh,
and you get to see the Red Wings, but
yeah,
not quite the same.
But it's still an actual NHL game.
That's true.
All right, so I'm picking the Leafs over the Bruins in 6.
I wish to have the same faith that you have, but I can see a 7-game series where the Leafs will find some way, like they have the last 5 or 6 years, to just.
Did you know that the last 3 series they've had have all gone 7 games?
Yeah, I remember, except for the last one because I think they got swept. Didn't they get swept against Florida? I think they did.
No, I'm talking about Boston.
Oh, Boston, yeah.
The last 3 times they played Boston in the playoffs, went to 7 games.
Yeah.
All right, so Lightning and Panthers.
I think Florida's got it. Steven Stamkos isn't having the same years he's been having before. Panthers are red hot from last year.
The way that I see it, Tampa Bay has had their time.
Yeah.
They've banged up a couple Stanley Cups. They've actually, they were in 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know
before last year. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Panthers 5 at the most. I can actually see that as being a sweep too.
Sweep, yeah. And then your Capitals and Rangers. I think we both got the Rangers in 4, I'd imagine.
Actually, I'm gonna give the Capitals 1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does the all-time goal record count? Does that include the playoffs? So when you see the Ovechkin right now is chasing Gretzky's all-time goal record. Is that just for regular season goals? So playoff goals don't count.
So it's just
okay
regular season goals. And if Ovechkin beats him, fine. That's what happens when you play 15 seasons longer. Like whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like LeBron James with his record right now. Well, he's played 21 years. I mean, can't take anything away from him. He's still playing. Way above average for a 21 year season player, but he's smashing every record. But longevity, that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady did the same thing. He played for so many years, played at top level, but he was able to bang off so many records just because of how long he played for.
Did you hear that he's actually thinking about coming back?
I've heard as his hometown team, San Francisco, might be an option for him.
Nope. He's not even going to the NFL from what I've heard.
Where do you think he's going to go?
To the UFL.
You think he's going to go play in the UFL?
I've already heard that's where he's going.
But they don't have enough money to pay him to come out of retirement, would they? I don't know if he's going to come out of retirement to play for the love of the game.
The Rock's got cash. But the thing is if they had him in that league for a season or 2, that's going to draw extra eyes to watch it.
Yeah.
So, you spend a little cash and you're going to make it back. From what I've heard, and this just sounds so Tom Brady-ish, when he retired, he lost his last game. And that left a foul taste in his mouth. He wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
So he said he wants to try a new challenge. You know me, I love NFL, I love CFL. Okay? But NFL is here, CFL is here.
Yeah.
UFL is way the hell down here. Okay, that's not a challenge for him.
Yeah.
Right? It's just easy money for him.
Exactly.
And where he's probably not going to even get hit. So.
Oh, yeah, they'll protect him.
Oh, for sure they will. Because from the understanding I have, he's a San Francisco boy.
Well, yeah.
And I heard that before he went to Tampa Bay the first time, he asked San Francisco, and he said no. Right? And
that's when they were rocking with Jimmy G, I guess, at that point.
Jimmy G. Yeah, Jimmy G. But if they are going to invest in Brock Purdy, why are you going to disrupt the whole system by bringing in Brady?
Yeah, it takes away from his confidence. It takes away from the team dynamic. The whole offense will then get catered through Tom Brady, which natural. But
yeah,
when they've been doing what they've been doing for the last 2 years.
Another question: if they don't have the cash to pay Ayuk, how can they pay Brady?
Maybe he might do what he's done in his whole career with the Patriots. Take the pay cuts, win
doesn't have his wife anymore. Doesn't have his wife's money anymore.
He still made enough money on his own.
Yeah, but she made twice what he made. Yeah, so I don't know. It's like I don't like him.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just what it comes down to. I am a Joe Montana fan in and out. So.
Through and through.
Through and through.
I guess the NFL draft is coming up next week, so we'll prepare something. Maybe we'll do a little pre-draft show. Look through some of the teams, look through the draft order, see what kind of the top prospects are, and maybe come up with our own little fun mock draft and who we might see, what we can imagine for the next season, and what we think each team should draft, and
I think so. Yeah.
And then we can compare it after. That might be something we can do.
Although I did hear one rumor. Speaking about San Francisco, if they lose Ayuk, which they probably will, hopefully he'll go to Detroit Lions. There's this young kid who is actually a standout who they might be able to snag.
Who?
Luke McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, he's in his college years too.
Just imagine the two brothers on the same team.
Young McCaffrey, but it'll be good.
Yeah, no, so keep an eye on the playoffs. I'll watch the hockey. You can watch the basketball. And don't forget, I think it's May 4th is the Backlash PPV.
Yep. So we got Dynasty this Sunday. We got the playoffs starting this Saturday. We got Backlash in May. And then the draft next weekend as well. So lots going on in the sports world. You can catch it all here at Out of Bounds Podcast with Cody and Don. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this podcast, hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow the next podcast, make sure you turn those notifications on.